We welcome you inside a post-game edition, Sports Radio WNML.com after Tennessee's season home opening loss to Georgia State. Tyler Ivens alongside Josh Ward. 38-30, the Panthers from the Sun Belt Conference come into Neyland Stadium, and immediately, Josh, as soon as the seconds were ticking down, even after a late Tennessee touchdown, I'm 33 years of age, born in '86, and I was going back where some of these gigantic losses were in Tennessee football history. I thought about immediately '96. Peyton Manning and the Vols going to Memphis.
Sure.
I was in Section G right over your shoulder in '08 in person when Tennessee lost to Wyoming. That was shortly after Philip Fulmer was dismissed. But even then, I don't think it would even match what happened earlier today here between the Panthers and the Volunteers. There's no way to put it besides Tennessee got beat in every aspect of the game.
Yeah, this loss for Tennessee can't take a backseat to too many in Tennessee football history, considering what Georgia State was coming in, a Sun Belt team coming off a 2-10 season, a team that was fortunate to play well against an FCS team this time a year ago to get a win to open up the season. Tennessee being a 25 to 27 point favorite. Tennessee had a 14-7 lead, and then all of a sudden it's all Georgia State from there. For Tennessee to be beaten up front on each side of the ball throughout the game, there are a lot of layers to the concern here for Tennessee and how Tennessee responds to this, because it is just game one, but this can be game number one that can really send Tennessee in a very disappointing direction if Tennessee does not respond correctly immediately.
Immediately, I look at some of the numbers inside the box score. Tennessee was outrushed 240 to 133. I know how it happens. This is a rhetorical question, but in your eyes, how does this happen? How does an SEC defense allow this from an off? Look, I know they had a lot of returning guys, but immediately I ask myself, how can that happen? 7-8 months to prepare for a Georgia State team who struggled last year, and they were just gouged on the ground the entire game.
It is difficult to explain when we're coming off several weeks, months really, of talk about all the work that was done in the strength program. Jeremy Pruitt talking about the weight that had been put on and how guys were stronger and going to be better up front, and that just wasn't evident. It wasn't up front, and now you're going up against teams in the future who are bigger and stronger and more physical. How does Tennessee respond to that? I don't know, but physically in the second half, Tennessee's defense I thought looked past Tyler. There were a lot of mental mistakes as well on both sides of football. Defensive and offensive players after the game were talking about missed assignments, mental errors, and getting those cleaned up. And you know what? If they clean all this up, they can be a better football team. There's a lot to clean up.
If you're a listener or if you're a fan of this program, you immediately ask, and maybe you don't have the answer, that this was the opener. You know, maybe if it was like game 3 or game 4 and you were dealing with injuries, immediately there was some Tennessee fans who are probably going to ask throughout the entirety of our week leading into BYU, how did this team have so many mental mistakes against a opponent that was not on the same level as they were? And you heard it post-game, a lot of these fans that were here in the visitor section saying, you know, it just means more. It just means more to us, kind of mocking the SEC slogan and the moniker. This is kind of an embarrassment all around for Tennessee football.
Tennessee spent a lot of money to get coaches like Jim Chaney to come in and lead the offense and Derek Ansley to lead the defense along with Jeremy Pruitt. Those are 3 guys right there making a ton of money to have their players not know what to do on a lot of occasions against Georgia State. And against Georgia State, Tennessee should be able to overcome some of those errors and still be able to clean them up. And it didn't happen. But you pointed out a play there late in the game where DeAndre Johnson, a third-year player who played a good amount last year. This is not a newcomer to the defense who didn't know whether to be on the field and then where to go on the field. And Georgia State took advantage of it. And that comes back to the coaching and the preparation to make sure guys know what to do. And Jeremy Pruitt said after the game, they were out-coached. But that doesn't make it acceptable. Yeah. And Tennessee's coaches have to do a better job to get their players ready to go against BYU.
Local programming continues. Sunday Sports Sound Off coming up on Sunday morning with Jimmy Himes. We are going to have everything you need leading up to the recap of Georgia State and heading into BYU week beginning 6 a.m. with the starting lineup with myself and Will West. For Josh Ward, Tyler Ivens, Georgia State comes into Neyland Stadium here August 31st of 2019 and pulls off the upset against Tennessee 38-30. You have been viewing this video on Sports Radio WNML.com.